Hi, guys. It's Jo Labbé here with Soul Connections. We are here this Wednesday evening to help you connect to your spiritual team and to, set you on your healing path. Most of us know that we have stuff that we want to heal, but we don't always have dedicated time to do that or to go see a practitioner. So this is your Wednesday night check-in. And let's see what work you want to accomplish tonight. So I wanted to say a big shout out to Neshi and Minnie for, talking about my essential oils earlier today. That was really cool. And if you missed their show, it was all about the sacred element of air, and that was so amazing. You should watch the replay because I really enjoyed all of the nuggets of information that are in there, and I can't wait until they talk about the ethers next month. I think that surprised both of them as the next thing came popping out, but it was so clear that's what Spirit wanted, so that's really cool. So you guys who've been here before, you know the drill. The way to get this out there to reach as many people who might need healing as we can you please like and share the broadcast? It allows us to show up in the news feed more often and gets us out in Facebook land. And, my spiritual team has been pretty clear that because of their ability to maneuver the electrical forces on the internet, they really can get it to somebody who needs it in that moment. And I think that has been really clear because there have been a number of times, I don't know if you guys have noticed, that we've had a bunch of new people on who seem to appear out of nowhere. They're not friends with somebody else, but they're really here looking for guidance and help. And sometimes that's just for the card draw. But you know that the healing begins with yourself, and we start that off with our healing meditation. So, I know you guys are being really good at sharing that, so thank you. Yesterday was the full moon last night. So some of you may still be feeling the side effects of that. That can be a great thing, or it can be a horrendous thing, depending on who you are. I'm somebody who, when I experience the full moon, I am usually at my peak. It's why here at Trinity Healing Sanctuary, we do our full moon meditation and our healer shares because there is so much healing juice flowing. So I'm so excited that we can tap into that energy again today because it's really powerful the few days before and a few days after. And with every full moon, remember that you can set intentions of what you would like to bring into your life or what you are sick and tired of and would like to release. So use it. It's not called a super moon for nothing. It's got a lot of extra juice. And then next month, the full moon and the equinox fall on the same day. So we're going to have quite a doozy in March. So just keep that on your radar, that's going to be a super duper powerful evening as well. So I'm not in a place where I can see who's here, but I can tell by requests, that we have Julie Hedges and Rob and Christine and Cindy, Lynn and Andrew and Mary. So if you want a card, make sure that you say yes, please, because I will make sure to draw it. And thank you to Neshi for being my co-pilot once more, because following all the comments and doing the card draw is really difficult for me. It's basically two different sides of my brain. So I'm really thankful that she's here to help assist with that so we can reach even more people, which is really cool. So yeah, are you guys about ready? I'm feeling like we should get started because that's, that energy is like itching to go. My team is itching to go. All right, so let's start out with the meditation. So you want to, I want to put it out there first that, I'm going to be making clearing noises. They can sound kind of burpy, squawky noises. That's me moving energy for the entire group. I don't peer into who's it's coming from. I'm just happy that energy is leaving and that we are creating movement for each other. So you are going to hear me do that. And as we go through, the ancient one got a little talkative yesterday during the full moon. So, we might hear the ancient one as well. And that has a very strong masculine native kind of sound to it. Original, original energy. The ancient one's been here since the beginning is kind of how I experienced that. So with that, you want to get nice and comfy. You want your arms and your legs uncrossed. We want to keep our circuits wide open because there's going to be a lot of energy flowing through as we do this.
Yeah.
And we're going to call in the divine. However you perceive that, however you connect to the divine. Some of you may connect to God or Goddess, Creator, all that is, oneness, consciousness. However you experience the divine, give yourself a couple of breaths to just connect and open to that. Your interpretation, your experience.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we're going to ask the divine energy to surround and protect us in a bubble of infinite love and infinite light, creating a sacred space, a sacred container for us to do and receive the healing work this evening.
Yeah.
And we're going to set the intention that this healing is for the good of all and harm to none, including ourselves.
Yeah.
And we're going to invite in your spiritual team, your angels, your guides, your ancestors, star beings, animal totems, all divine, of the highest, fullest, and brightest vibration available to us in this moment now.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And if you have an intention that you would like for this healing, you can set it now. If something's going on for you, you can ask for the energy to be resolved or for you to get clarity. You can release cords with old relationships that no longer work for you.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
We're going to begin by calling in the divine energy to the top of our head, to the crown. Just take a moment of awareness to experience that amplified connection. You may feel pressure or tingling or light, heat or cold, or you may have a sense of knowing. And all of them are perfect. And it's okay if you don't experience anything at all, because we each connect with the divine in our own unique way.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're going to begin by bringing in the energy into our sixth chakra, into our third eye, in the middle of our forehead, and just begin to calm any spinning thoughts, ideas, beliefs, or patterns that may be swirling around in our consciousness. Things we've been mulling over, things we're anxious about. We just want to bring that all to a gentle, quiet space so that we're simply focused on our breath and our heartbeat. And calling all of our energy back into our body, all of the energy that we have left in the past, being connected to things that were, mulling them over, bringing them up, thinking of ways to change the past, and really bringing our focus now.
Good.
Okay. And then bringing our energy back from the future, all the to-do lists that we may be worried about, the tasks or the things that we need to complete, that will all be there when we are done with the meditation. So there's no need to worry about them in this moment.
Good. 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 Good.
We're going to ask to open the communication with our spiritual team and invite all of the pathways of communication to open. Expanding our connection to all of our senses and the information that they send to us.
Good. Good.
Making room for more clarity to come through, giving us a fuller vision.
Good.
And opening our eyes so that we can see more clearly the nuances around us, the messages that our team tries to send us. And all the unspoken communication that we miss or we misinterpret, really expanding that capacity within us. And bringing the energy into our jaw and really allowing the jaw to relax. Releasing all the ways we hold on to our energy, clenching our jaw, biting back our words, biting back the truth. In any ways we block our self-expression. You're really beginning to open and expand the throat chakra so that the authentic truth can come through, spoken from your heart center in a loving and kind manner. And really releasing any words that we've said in anger or hatred, or any words that were spoken in that way to us. And allowing that excess energy to just gently dissipate. There you go. And now releasing all the stress and the tension that you're holding in your neck and your shoulders, from all the responsibility you're carrying, all the burdens for yourself, for others, everything that weighs upon you. And it doesn't mean that thing goes away, but in this moment, you can release it and give yourself a moment of breath, relaxation, connection. And beginning to move to the heart and allowing the energy to gently dissolve all of the old hurt and sadness, even any current grief or sadness that is squeezing or making it difficult for you to breathe. Any energy that is blocking your joy from shining through. And just taking a moment to consider dropping your shields or your armor that is protecting your heart. Because in this moment you are safe in your healing with the divine. And just granting your room for your heart to gently breathe a little more fully. Your lungs to have space for even more oxygen. That sacred breath of life. And allowing it to flow through your entire being. That nourishing oxygen that feeds all of our organs and tissues. And now really expanding your connection with your inner child. Noticing what your child needs in this moment. Do they need love and attention? Do they need time for play or rest? And allowing your child a moment to fill with unconditional love. Releasing any hurt, or pain that it has been carrying for you.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Connecting to the inner adult within you, that part of you responsible for all the doing, and giving it a moment of just being. No agenda,
Yeah.
and accessing the inner warrior, that part of you ready to fight for what you believe in, for what keeps you safe. And in this moment, allowing the warrior a moment of peace as well.
Right. Yeah.
Again, releasing the shield, the sword you may be carrying. For at the moment, there is no battle. There's just breath.
Right. Right. Yeah.
And connecting to your inner elder, that sage that carries all the lifetimes of knowledge within you that you can access whenever you remember to ask.
Good. Yeah.
And also the ways to connect to your Akashic records, and the pathway to releasing your karmic debt.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now moving down into your solar plexus, into the third chakra below your rib cage, and really releasing any energy of fear. And fear can be experienced in so many ways. It can be anxiety or stress, it can be overwhelm.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It can be frustration and anger,
Yeah.
and all types of anger, even righteous anger, can all sit in the belly.
Yeah.
And even just fear for change or survival or success.
Yeah.
Any energy that is squeezing your sense of self, your self-esteem, your self-confidence, your self-worth.
Yeah.
And really igniting the fires within, the desire and the passion to create change and make new things, and to have the energy to accomplish what you wish and desire.
Got it. Yeah.
And igniting your own spark to shine in the darkness for you and for others to see.
Yeah. Yeah.
And moving down into our second chakra and really looking at any emotions, other emotions that we've held on to, been unable to express, any sadness, any shock, and any secrets that we've held on to for other people, to protect them or to protect ourselves. Any energy squeezing our relationships, creating dis-ease or imbalance. For in creation energy, there is the energy of giving and receiving. And when that's out of sync, it is difficult to give or it's difficult to receive.
Yeah.
And for most, it's receiving. But that's how abundance flows, is when you're open to receiving. You can't flow in the imbalance of energy.
Yeah.
And opening up our hips as they connect down into our root chakra, right below our tailbone. And releasing any other energy that we have that may be causing us to feel unsteady, insecure, unsafe. Anything around our home, our finances, our job, any unresolved energy with our tribal family, difficulty with money, difficulty with letting go of the past. And really allowing that clearing energy to move down your legs, down through your thighs and your knees, down your calves and your shins, your ankles and your feet, and really connecting deep beneath you into the earth. And whether you experience that as roots or a giant cord of connection, or you feel the cube of Metatron beneath you, and allowing all of the releasing energy to slide down your body and into the earth, deep, all the way through the earth to that core, that molten lava core, where it can be quickly composted and turned instantly back into energy of creation. And the more you're willing to release, the more you are able to allow new things and new creation to come to you.
Got it. Got it.
And now asking Grandmother Earth to fill in all of those nooks and crannies, those spaces where you were willing to let one thing go, or many things go this evening, to call in brand new energy to you. As it begins to come in and fill, feel it as it moves up your feet and your ankles, your legs, giving you strong footing as you walk the red road,
Yeah.
your spiritual path, in your physical life, restoring you to a sense of balance, really opening your pelvic floor so that you can hold even more creation energy, even more flow within you.
Got it. Got it.
And then allowing the energy to move up through your belly, cleansing and restoring those organs that work so hard for you.
Got it. Got it. Got it.
And then allowing the energy to move up through your rib cage and filling your whole spinal column with love and support.
Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it.
Really allowing your whole heart to fill fully, like a giant cup, the cup of life, the holy grail that you hold within your heart. And allowing that to fill, and then even to fill more, so the cup overflows with all of that beautiful healing energy. And as it does, it begins to pour down your shoulders and down your arms into your hands.
Got it.
And begin to move up through your throat, up your neck, into your jaw, into your skull, clearing your sinuses and your eyes and your brain. This goes all the way to the top of your head and cascades over you, cleansing, restoring, and repairing your aura all in one. And remembering the aura in all of its directions and all of its dimensions.
Yeah.
In the physical layer, in the emotional layer, in the mental layer, in the spiritual layer, and even through past lives and karma. in each and every dimension.
Yeah.
And now taking a moment to send healing energy back down to Grandmother Earth in gratitude for loving and supporting us, providing us with shelter and nourishment, water and air to breathe. Restoring and replenishing her elements as well.
Yeah.
And allowing healing energy to flow forward to those who have asked for healing, who have prayed for it. Again, for the good of all and harm to none.
God. God.
And take a moment of gratitude for your spiritual team showing up to guide you, to be here tonight, to help you with your own healing.
God.
And then really begin to bring your energy back into this moment. Begin to move, stretch, yawn, rub your feet on the floor, rub your hands together, whatever will help you bring you back into the present moment. All right, so we're going to start our card reading. So these are divine messages that are coming through. I'm just the conduit. So we're using the Art of Love Tarot deck. This is, again, the artwork of Tony Carmen Salerno. And it's together through with Darnice Jarvie. And it's different for those of you who know the tarot. The interpretation of this deck is different than the traditional. So if you're trying to create a correspondence, they don't necessarily completely line up. And I go with what my spiritual team is saying about the card, even if it's not a traditional reading. The card provides a visual framework for you to have a locked memory of what information you need, what guidance you need. So if you'd like a card, all you have to do is type in yes, please. And the way we pull the cards is I draw them in the order that they were asked. So you can literally follow along in the news feed to see where we are, and we won't skip anybody. I do them until we're done. And there was at least one person who asked through Messenger. So if they're not in the news feed, it's because they asked, they requested in another format. Okay, so just hang in there. I'll get to you. So we're going to start with Susan. Wow, I've never asked you how to pronounce your last name. Lilja? I don't know. And I even know you, so I apologize if I didn't say that right. So you can set me right the next time you see me. So your card is the Eight of Trees. And the Eight of Trees discusses you acquiring a new skill. And the way I see the Eight of Trees is similar to an apprentice, kind of like you are studying at the school, right? You are learning some new transformational skills, some new healing skills that you are going to be able to apply. So you are accumulating some new skills that will translate into a shift in your life and your lifestyle. And so that is a really cool way for us to move forward on our spiritual path. Sometimes the best way for us to do that is to study something new. Even if we only hear one new thing that assists us, it's another tool in our tool belt, right? So you are in the process of acquiring some new skills. And as you're doing that, get over the fact that you are an apprentice at the moment. We're not a master in a day, right? It took you years to create the life that you're living right now. And if you're working on transforming it, it's not going to go away in a few hours. It's going to take a little work, right? So this is all about acquiring some new skills. And just remember, you're an apprentice in this lifetime, right? You're not a master at the moment, all right? Okay, Rob, your card is the 8 of trees. Nope, sorry, stars. I always want to call it, there's so many trees in Tony's work. So it's the 8 of stars, and the 8 of stars is a surge of energy. And I always feel this sensation of like all your power that you've given away to other people. We let other people talk us into doing things we don't want to. And as we take our power back, as we call our energy home, we start to get this surge of excess energy, which is actually just what we normally would have if we held on to it. And that allows us to propel ourselves forward in a new way. So it's like energy is kind of like building up for you to create some real change. Now it's up to you, and I'm getting the finger wag a little bit. It's up to you to set the intention and use this momentum. Lots of times we all of a sudden feel that energy surging and we panic and go, oh no, something's wrong, rather than, yes, something's about to go right. So choose whether you're going to focus on the negative or on the positive as this surge comes in. And you have the ability, only you, to really create some fantastic movement for you. And it feels very much like it's something that could pave the way through springtime even. So if I were you, I'd get in front of that rather than, having it run me over. All right. And for Julie, your card this evening is the Ace of Angels. And those aces, as you know, are gifts from the divine, right? And the Ace of Angels is the gift of wisdom. And it's not knowledge, it's wisdom. Knowledge is like you know it, and in your brain you're like, yeah, I already know that. Wisdom is when you apply it. So it's the now that you know what you need to know, and I think you got the Magician card last week. Now that you have the tools that you need and the wisdom that you need, it's time to use them. Your spiritual team isn't going to put up with the, well, I don't know anymore, because you actually do. So really use this divine wisdom that has been given to you. It's a gift. And start using it. And see how things shift for you, because there can be a lot of change around that. I look forward to that for you. All right, Christine. You have the 5 of Stars. So the 5 of Stars can be talking about diversity. And for you, it just feels very much like it has to do with change. You're in the midst of swirling change, and that can cause rise to a whole bunch of emotions and a whole bunch of other people having very different reactions from you. That's the diversity that I'm seeing. When we're going through a grieving process, we're all in a different stage. We're not doing it in the same way, in the same time frame. So you are going through this shifting time, and it's okay for change to be a little chaotic. Don't try to control it. Try to just go with the flow. Let the emotions flow the way they want to. If you're sad 1 minute and angry the next, that's fine. There's no right or wrong to what you're experiencing or what anyone else is experiencing. So if you hear the shoulds, you should be doing this, or you should be feeling this, or you should be behaving that, whether you're hearing it toward you or you're hearing it come out of your own mouth, take a breath and realize that everybody is going to do this in their own way. Okay, so that's the diversity around you. All right, my dear? All right, Cindy Lynn. You got one of the soul cards. So this is the Force card. And this is really about, it is time for you to start accessing the inner strength that your soul has. And force isn't about forcing the issue. It's not about power. It's about that fire we were talking about, almost like Rob's surge. It's like calling in your soul and being able to stand as a force to be reckoned with. And when you're a force to be reckoned with, nobody pushes you around. Nobody takes advantage of you. You are so unwavering in what you're doing and how you do it. You really don't care. You don't care what anybody else thinks. You don't let their opinion shift you. This is time for you to stand in that inner strength in a brand new way. And I can almost feel you shaking about it. Like, oh, no, don't make me do this. But this is your soul strength that you're tapping into. And no matter how your ego feels, your soul's ready to stand there for you. It's ready to be that powerful being that you really, truly are, not the one that people told you were. Okay? Time to get it done. All right, Andrew. Another ace. Isn't this one gorgeous? Oh, I love all the colorful waves. I love the giant star above. This is the Ace of Stars, and this is a gift from God. Again, the aces are gifts, and this is the gift of creation. So what are you creating? I'm sort of hearing a whole new reality for you. And it almost feels like this is like a whole life thing, you know? You're creating like a new job and a new living situation and new friends and a new Andrew. So this is all in divine timing. This is all being fully supported by spirit. And so whatever you are trying to create right now, it's a done deal. Just release any doubt that you have. Because when we call doubt in, then we slow down the energy of creation. Okay? But I mean, look at these waves. Hello. It's like the ocean is moving forces for you right now. Go for it. Nice. Loving the new energy in this new moon. All right. Mary. Woohoo. I think Mary is next. Okay. So Mary, your card is another soul card, part of the major arcana. And this one is the universe. I love that it's a full lotus. The full lotus, right, is at the crown. All the 1,000 petals are at the crown. And the universe card is really about you being fully connected with spirit, as wide and as expansive as you can be. This is at a soul level. This is you having it all. Whatever you want, whatever you desire, your team is on it. They're there to work with you. This is all the lessons and hardships that you've been going through. They are done. This is time for you to be in a phew. That was a lot to go through. kind of energy, and whatever rewards you can imagine can come in for you now. So you went through all of this trials and tribulation and all this hard work, and now in this expanded state, you can create whatever you want. And it's only what you're willing to think you are able to receive. Really, you can create all of it. How cool is that? Nice. All right. Ed, nice card for you. The Queen of Hearts. And the Queen of Hearts, you know, people get confused if you get if you're male and you get a female card, and if you're female and you get a male card. So this is, oh, thank you for liking and sharing. This card is about expanding your sixth sense. And the Queen of Hearts is very tapped into their intuition. And, you know, people talk about the intuition as being like the feminine gift. Well, it's the gift from the divine feminine. So in that fashion, it is part of our amplified feeling. So you are really connected to your spiritual team. You're really open as a channel. And this is just saying that in that place, you are in a gentle, caring, nurturing heart, which those of us who know you know that's who you are when you're doing your work. So it's just reminding you that the queen is still powerful in all her feeling and her emotion and her nurturing. She is still the queen of the queendom, right? And so this is a time to really access that nurturing feminine side of you, not the decisive male who gets things done. This is about being and feeling as the energy flows. And you already know that, but you know, they want to remind you. All right, Robin. Nice. Okay, so your card, don't freak out at the word on the bottom. So this is the Eight of Hearts. And the Eight of Hearts comes in when there's some codependent energy happening. And people freak out about codependency sometimes, except every relationship we have on the planet is codependent. We rely on somebody else, right? We depend on them. And so we're all in that codependent energy. It's just a matter of what level of codependency are you at? Are you at a place where somebody is sort of sucking your energy dry and they're really taking more than giving? That's when codependency is difficult. So in the Eight of Hearts, it's saying you've got a relationship right now that is out of balance. It's leaving you feeling a little drained, a little cranky is the best word. It's the most PG word that I can think of. And so because of that, you feel a little out of sorts. And it may be amplified with the full moon, because the full moon really amplifies our feelings a lot. So you may be feeling really taken advantage of or hurt. And it's because you're in a relationship at the moment that's out of balance. Doesn't mean you have to end that relationship. It means what can you do to restore balance? And lots of times it's finding a way to expand your communication skills and set some really awesome boundaries of what you will and will not tolerate, okay? Because we get really leaky when the other person doesn't understand what we like and don't like, and when we say yes when we mean no, okay? And you've got an oil for that. By the way, message me if you don't know which one it is, but I have a feeling you know. All right, Jacqueline. So your card is the Knight of Trees. And knights are, you know, they love to go out and adventure. But notice this one is sitting beneath the tree and meditating. He doesn't seem to be out on an adventure. It's because his adventure is going inward. And the Knight of Trees is basically, he's a protector. So this is calling on you to step in your protector role. And we call on the tree energy to keep us grounded, to keep us in a really focused place so that we are, have good intention, and we are able to be a better caretaker when we are aware of our surroundings, whether we're caretaking other people or we're caretaking of ourselves. So this is telling you that the energy at the moment is to be really grounded, really focused, and pay attention. And if you don't know what signals are coming in, stop and ask your team. Go inward and get their answer, because this isn't a time to leap and take action willy-nilly. It's really about being really grounded and aware of everything. And if you have any confusion, you stop, you breathe, you meditate, you take time. Don't allow anybody to push you into a decision too quickly, because then you won't be happy. Okay? All right. Barbie. Your card is another one of the major arcana. This one is called the Retreat. And this is on the soul level. This is what your soul needs to do. So this isn't just the card of the week. This is what your soul is working on right now for a while. And so in the retreat, it's time for you to do some inner work. Contemplation is about when we connect with our spiritual team and we see what's up. And lots of times that's when we figure out things that aren't working in our life, are making us unhappy, or we're looking at things that we would like to have in our life that we just don't seem to be able to call forward. And so that only happens when we quiet the distractions of the everyday world and we really get focused with our spiritual team. So look for ways where you really connect most deeply and start really creating a daily practice where you connect with your higher self and with your spiritual team, whether that's, walking in nature, whether it's meditating, whether it's doing yoga. It could be even, my grandmother used to do it when she was doing the laundry, because you're on a repetitive task that you don't have to think about, right? Or washing the dishes. Those can be times when we can go inward. And this is just telling you to take that time and intention, because your soul needs it to stretch and grow in your next lesson. Okay? All right, Bobby. Your card is also a soul card. This is the Emergence. Notice all the knowing eyes. I always see all the knowing eyes. Your eyes, the third eye, the star above the crown, the Ankh, and all of that water, that intuitive water flowing. So this is about you sort of coming out of the ethers. You've had all of this stuff that you went through. A lot of us had some big lessons to learn. So this is a time where you went through a lot of things, and now the new Bobby is sort of emerging from the waters. You're rising up from the waters. You've gone through all of the craziness of the purification and all of that. And now you can start to step out and emerge and be more you. And when we have this energy, it's kind of, it's symbolic of the completion of one of our soul's lessons and one of the lessons of the journey of this lifetime. Doesn't mean you're done. It just means you're done with this one. but allow yourself to kind of relish in the fact that you've completed this task and now you're sort of shedding the layers of the old you and stepping out into the new body, the new updated version, the newest software. Okay? And really use that because there's a new lesson around the corner. It's real quick for you. All right, Allie. All right, Allie, you got the King of Hearts, the healer card. So the King of Hearts is reminding you that we need other people to help us on our spiritual journey. It's time for you to call on someone who has that, it kind of a father energy, though I'm not feeling male, I'm feeling female, but that call on that person that can sort of guide you and help you with healing. Because I feel like there's a lot of disturbed energy with you that is ready to shed. And there's some tug of war of, who's Allie supposed to be right now? And there's like this tugging of like society and our parents, and you're not even on the end of the rope at the moment. You're kind of in the middle of the rope. It's time to kind of unwind that and get a healer to work with you so that you can kind of decide what's best for Allie. And it feels like there's this big healer component. And you and I should talk about the school. All right, Tina, because I'm pretty sure you live near me. All right, Tina. Nice. Phew. Look at yours, the 9 of Hearts. I don't know if you can see, there's the Eye of Horus in the middle of the tree. There's all these hearts that were the leaves of the tree that have fallen out. And as part of this, the 9 of Hearts is really saying you're in this new stable period. Woohoo! A bunch of you seem to be stable right now, which is great. So you've done a lot of hard work and it's really starting to pay off. And so this is kind of an abundant period for you. You don't really have a lot to worry about financially or family-wise or anything. This is really a time for you to kind of be okay with it being okay. We get so used to chaos that sometimes we freak out when things are just normal. So you're in a stable period right now, so just enjoy it and really find some ways where you can be the tree for somebody else who's not. Because that helps solidify how stable we are when we're able to help others when we're in a good place so that others can help us when we're not. All right? All right, Shirley. Yours is the King of Angels. So the King of Angels is really about being a peaceful warrior. So if you think about the angelic realm, right? This is like Archangel Michael. And some people wouldn't see him as peaceful, right? Because he can be, tough as nails when we need him to be there. But at this moment, it's that energy of there is this energy where you can go to battle if you need to. But right now, there's no need to. So you get to have a moment of exuding some really cool strength. And it's a very masculine strength and not a force, like I said earlier, not being forceful, not overpowering somebody else, just standing in your own power. But you're another one where it's a force to be reckoned with, but it's very calm and peaceful. You don't have to be assertive, you just can be. And other people will get that sense that, you know, you would go to battle if need be, but you just don't need to right now. So take this peaceful time and enjoy it. All right, Anne. So your card, dear, is the Three of Angels. And the Three of Angels is just really about, can you see all the little cords that are kind of wrapping around? And so she's just like, what are all these things trying to tie me down? And they're not tying her down. They're kind of swirling around her. And so this card is for you. It's a time where you need to get some clarification, some clarity on some swirling things that are around you. If you got all stressed out and freaked out, it would tie you down. But it would all be an illusion. So this usually means, when this card comes up, it usually means that you don't have all the information you need to make a decision. So don't make any big decisions until you have all the information and all the facts, because there's too much swirling around that's unknown. And you want to make sure that the swirling drops off of you rather than ties you up. Okay, so don't make any rash decisions. Wait to make sure that you have all the information you need and really get some clarity. All right, Christina. This is another soul card, an arcana card. And this one is called acceptance. And the acceptance is all about we're where we are now because it's the perfect place for us to be right now. And when we don't struggle and fight that, then we come into harmony. It's kind of like when we try to control everything, then we actually create more struggle. It's like, okay, this is where I'm at right now, and that's okay. Then you settle into a place of harmony. But when we try to make things happen, or we try to control what's going on in our environment, or control other people's responses, like you want them to believe your way of thinking, that is difficult. And this is your soul's lesson right now. So this is not like something for the week. This is something that you're going to be working on, is learning to be in a place of acceptance of this is where I am and that's okay. All right. It's a really tough lesson sometimes, learning to be okay when things seem uncertain. All right. Julie. Love the High Priestess. I love her throat chakra. Look at all of that energy there and her intuition, right? She's really kind of an oracle in this card deck. And the High Priestess really is, she is the one who sits between the physical realm and the spiritual realm. She uses her intuition to connect. She uses her intuition to speak through her. So she speaks her heart's truth, but she also speaks with the divine. And so in this deck, she's really sort of the conduit. She's the connection between the spiritual realm and the physical realm. And really, that's a role you're stepping into right now, right? So you're helping those of us who are healers get our healing message and our teachings out. So you're helping us exude our voice, and you're sort of you're the priestess in charge, right? You're the priestess in charge of the academy. And as that priestess, you're allowing all of these others to share their voice, share their wisdom, share their gifts. But you sort of are the one who's overseeing all of that. And so thank you for that. And this is really your soul's mission right now. And the way for you to really expand your comfort level on this new role, that's how I'm hearing it said, your comfort level on this role is for you to really just go with your intuition. You know, really listen to your team, and everything will be exactly as it's meant to do, because this is really part of your soul's path right now. Nice. Thank goodness for Star Nations. All right, Minnie. This is a great card for you. This is the Page of Stars. And that cat is so curious about all the things around it. And it wants to play with all the lights, and it wants to go flying up with those wings. And so the Page of Stars is like you're in this period where, you know, people talk about curiosity killing the cat. I've never seen curiosity kill a cat. I like to think of my cats as scientists. They're like, how does this work? And then they play with it until they figure out how it works. And so this is a time where let your inner child's curiosity go wild, because it'll allow you to some new discoveries, things that you never thought about, never connected with. And, you know, you've done things a particular way for a long time. Time for new Minnie to come out, and your inner child is the key to that. So see what comes up that you can become curious about and what piques your curiosity, because that's a new pathway for you. It's like this new pathway, you're kind of like, you got to get by the weeds to see where the new path is. And you're going to forge it all on your own. So cool job. All right. Woohoo. Brienne. Your card is the Empress. And in this deck, the Empress is really mother energy. And, you know, we all have our own concept of mother, but this is more like Mother Earth, Mother Nature. And that is the energy your soul is working on right now. What you're going to go through in a lesson is calling you to be that down to earth, that natural, that connected to your environment. And you've got this. I mean, an empress rules everything from a female perspective. And she does it usually with unconditional love. And she does it from a very wide open place of understanding what others need around, while still commanding and leading the way. So that is what your soul is going through right now. So yes, really call on that. And if you feel depleted, just remember you're a goddess. And, you know, call on Gaia and Mother Earth to fill you and allow you and remind you how to feel like that goddess. All right, Joanne. So your card is the 10 of Trees. And I love the heart beam on the tree. It's just exuding unconditional love for the woman who's there. And this is a card about, to a degree, it's about loyalty, but it's really about that really strong, rooted family connection. And that fills you up. You know, some people get really concerned about money and finances and all these other things, but what really fills you up right now is that sense of family. And it doesn't have to be your, you know, birth family. It can be your collection of soul sisters who allow you to feel like you have this tribe, this forest of supporters who are there to stand with you, to stand by you, and who get you for just who you are. And that's what this is about right now, is really calling on the people who are most connected to you in that way and being there for them and having them be there for you. And it really restores you to a place of balance. I love that for you. All right, Sean, you are welcome. Of course you can have a card. Ah, good card. Your card is the King of Stars. This is the Alchemist card. So the King of Stars is you starting to own that energy of an alchemist. And an alchemist is able to take anything and transform it into something else. And when we use alchemy at its finest, we shift things for the better. We take something that's a lump of coal and we turn it into a diamond, or we turn it into gold. But that it's always insinuating that it's you. So an alchemist is when you are able to transform you. You are able to shift you to a higher, fuller, better version of yourself. So this is a period of time when it's time for you to sort of be the king of your castle, and it's time for you to be in control of how you start to change your life. Remember, life doesn't happen to you, it happens for you. And you are the one who creates it. All right? All right, Mary. Of course. Your card, my dear, is the Five of Angels. And I love how she's standing, and it's hard to tell. You know, sometimes it seems like she's standing in fire, and sometimes it looks like she's coming out of a lotus. And I think it really depends on the person, which part they're coming out of. And so this one is for you. It's time for you to kind of like pull out of the fire. And part of that is there's been a lot of energy around you. It's like fire energy has a lot of fear attached to it, has a lot of anger attached to it, has a lot of self-doubt. And so it's time for you to pull back from that energy. And it's saying to withdraw, but I don't want you to take that into I need to hibernate and withdraw and pull myself away from people. It's more that you need to disengage from the conversations and disengage from other people's toxic behavior. You don't have to get sucked down the rabbit hole just because somebody else is down there. And maybe that means you pull yourself off of social media a little bit. Or maybe it means you don't respond to the 150 texts that this person sends you, or that you don't pick up the phone and let it go to voicemail. You will know what is going to help you get a little space and give you some space. And you just need some breathing room, sweetie. That's what the withdrawal is. Give yourself a little space to get some breathing room and let the fires that other people are creating kind of extinguish themselves. And then you can kind of re-engage. All right? All right, Tammy. Welcome. So your card is the Three of Trees. And the Three of Trees, I just love how they sort of stand together. They support each other. It's hard to tell if they're one tree with three trunks. And so the Three of Trees it's really about a time of really being dedicated to what you want and to dedicated to the people you care about. It's time to let go of things that aren't important to you or that you have done because somebody else asked you to do. It's really time to realign your energy so you're doing what you want, you're being with who you want to be with, and you make a commitment to that. You know, this is what I want, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm also seeing a little more dedication to taking care of yourself. And I don't know if that means, you know, watching what you eat or exercising more or building a spiritual practice, but it's really about making yourself as important as everybody else around you. You sometimes put other people first, and look for those people who put you first as well. Okay. And that's who you spend your time with. All right, Susanna. All right. You've got the Two of Stars. And the Two of Stars, it's kind of like two heads are better than one, right? But with the Two of Stars, this is calling on you to really put yourself out there in a bold new way. Sometimes we're a little shy, and sometimes we don't want to come off too assertive. But there are times when stepping out of your comfort zone and being bold allows brand new things to happen for you. And when you're around a bunch of people and nobody can make a decision, sometimes somebody has to step up to make the decision. It's time for you to be that person. It's like being in a group of people and you're like, what do you want to do? I don't know. What do you want to do? I don't know. What do you want to do? It's like, oh, Lord, nothing would ever get done, right? You need to kind of step out, and it's going to feel like, woo, you're exposing yourself in this big, new, bold way. And it's really not. It's just you being a little more decisive. So call on that inner boldness and put it out there. And believe me, it's not even going to be received that way. It's almost like people are sighing in relief that you're going to make the decision because they just can't. All right. Judy. Oh, no worries. You're right on time. Never late. So your card is another one of the soul cards, the major arcana, and this one is the divine order. And this is definitely one of the cards that does not energetically match the tarot deck. For those of you who are trying to put them together, cut it out. So this one is about restoring equilibrium. And in the equilibrium, what it's talking about is, can you see how she's holding the earth? It's heaven and earth. This is about restoring balance between your physical and your spiritual life. When they're not in sync, when you spend too much time on one and not enough time on the other, we get cranky. Our inner child gets cranky. It needs balance. And so this is about you going through your life and seeing what's out of balance, because there's a number of things. My team is holding up like this piece of paper going, there's a list here of things that are out of whack. Some stuff that you're not spending enough time on, some that you're spending too much time on. And, you know, this is really, this is a soul lesson. This isn't just the card for this week, sweetie. This is something that is going to take a little time for you to kind of figure out what's out of whack in your life. And balance can also be in relationships. Like if you're in relationships where you're the one doing everything, that's not okay. All right. And your soul is calling you back to that state. All right, Emily. Your card is the Six of Trees. Ooh, this is a card for women tonight. The Six of Trees comes up when we have been giving and giving and giving, and it's time for us to cut that out and allow yourself to receive. I was having this chat with a client today about this. We talk about self-care a lot. My spiritual team talks about self-care a lot. And I had this awareness with a client today that self-care means different things. And sometimes we turn self-care into like another to-do list. Oh, I've got to exercise. Oh, I've got to do, I've got to eat this way. No. When they're talking about self-care, yes, those things can work. Absolutely. But lots of times it's like, when do you take time to allow other people to take care of you? About 90% of the people in this room just went, ugh, right? And so we're terrible at receiving. We give, and then somebody offers us help and we're like, oh no, I got it. How about next time somebody offers you help, you say, yes, thank you. Yes, thank you. And let yourself receive. Because when we don't allow ourselves to receive, again, we're out of that equilibrium. We're not in the giving and receiving. And then we feel run down and taken advantage of later. So your task is to work on receiving. That message is probably for everybody in the group. All right, Amy. Yours is also a soul card, and it is the turnaround. And the turnaround card is things have been going along the same way for a long time. And they're very clear that you know what that means. You're sick and tired of being sick and tired of certain things. They're not going to change. They've been the same way. It's been working for a long time. The only way to create change is basically to create a mini revolution. Time to turn it around. Time to turn the energy around. Time to say, no, I'm not okay with that anymore. I allowed this for a really long time, but guess what? It's not okay anymore. And this is what I need. And it's time to open your throat chakra and say what you need and do your best to say it in loving, kind words. The first few times you start to speak up and try to create change, usually it comes out a little sloppy. But don't beat yourself up about that. Change takes time. And this is time. This is a really unequal kind of energy. It's time to shift it. You've been pissy about it for a long time. All right, so time to change it. Stop complaining, start changing. All right, Violet. Your card is the Four of Stars. This is really good, especially if you've got something, work related. Because this is an advancement card. Now, the advancement can be a job, but it also can be you on your soul's journey. Like you're getting an upgrade. So this is you moving forward in a positive way. The universe is really clear that you are ready for a promotion of some sort. And that is not like, oh no, I've got all this extra work and it's a bigger workload. It's being rewarded for all that's gone on, being rewarded for all the work that you've done. And generally, it literally means you're going to get more money out of a job. It's like usually a promotion, or you get the raise or something. It is a step forward along your path, but in a very physical realm, not in the spiritual realm usually. All right? Terrific. Okay, Carol. Yes, one for you and for Mitchell. I'll do you first. So your card is the Seven of Angels. Nice, nice card. So the Seven of Angels is talking about you are progressing. You are moving forward. Things are moving. Things are changing. You're not stuck any longer. It's starting to go. And progress can feel good and it can feel bad depending on how our ego is feeling that day, right? But all of this progress is forward momentum for you. And so even if it's uncomfortable, know that this is change, and change is progress, and change is good, and it will lead to even better things. You are moving along and moving forward. And so don't freak out if it feels a little chaotic. It's all progress. It's all going to be very good on the other side of it. All right? Take the momentum and run. Okay. Now, Mitchell. Yours is the Five of Trees. This is always interesting to me because I have a very strong affiliation with peacocks, and I see so many peacock eyes, as part of the leaves. I know they're really like swirls and whatnot, but I don't know. There's part of me that sees the peacock eyes as part of it. They just really have that quality to them. So the Five of Trees is that you are having this energy right now of feeling the constraints. It talks about limitation, but this is like you're being held back. Carol's got progress through chaos, and you're being held back a little bit. You're starting to notice the things that are holding you back. And as soon as you notice, it's time to shift them. Don't complain about them. Go, that's holding me back, or I'm holding myself back in this way. When we have limitations in place, they're barriers, and all we have to do is remove them, and we can go forward more easily. So you're in a more aware space of the things that aren't working. Make a list and start asking the universe how to shift it. Show me how to change what's limiting me at this moment. And it's done. Okay? And you'll get to see that. All right, Ellen. The Knight of Stars. So the Knight of Stars is the knight who likes to go on adventures. So it's like you're doing the same old, and you hate it. Your soul wants to get out and explore and adventure. And, it's like there's part of me that, sees like it's time to like pack up your puppy, sell your house, get an RV and go. Like you are so done. And Neshi, you can't see Neshi. I can see her on the screen as she's producing, and she's like, that's me. That's me. It's like it's time. You're craving for adventure. And you have this huge inner child who is so PO'd at not getting to play. So it is time for you to really stop being the predictable grown-up. We get to a certain age and we feel like we have to be responsible. And it's like, no, we're here to live our lives, right? And we don't know how long we have. So get out there and do what you want to do and be what you want to be and enjoy life and live it. Don't just, sit there and do all these obligations, because your soul and your inner child are just not happy. It's time for you to get out there and explore and do some fun things. Let it go. All right. Of course, one of my favorites, Ben wants the new God thought. This is a good one for you. So this one is the 9 of stars. And it's hard because the card looks like there's tears, right? And actually, I'm just feeling a lot of hot. I'm feeling the fever. And so this is telling you that you have the energy to persevere. And persevere means that you have this really strong soul that can make it through anything. Okay? And your mom and I need to have a chat about how you can manage the planet's energy better so it doesn't make you sick all the time. Because it makes me sick sometimes, but I'm a grown-up and I know what to do about it. And you and I can feel when the earth is burning up and then we burn up. And we can feel when it's like squeezed tight. So you are someone who has the soul that is strong enough to get through all of this. We just need to give you some tools in your toolbox so it doesn't have to be so hard on your body, okay? So your mom and I will have a chat about that because I've got all this knowledge that I can help her with, all right? And I hope you feel better. All right, Kimberly. All right, thank you. What a nice card for you. This is the Page of Hearts. The Page of Hearts has this beautiful, innocent heart that just loves everyone and everything and wants to approach life from that place. It's the card of innocence. It's kind of like the heart that Ben has. And that heart of like just being open, fully open to any new experience. So as you're going through things right now, just allow your heart to guide you and do it from this like wide open place of wonder that children have. And don't allow your past energy and what happened to you in the past dictate how you approach life right now. Because sometimes that makes us hard and wary and cautious. And it's just time for you to be open in that heart space and lead from there. And it's really magical energy too. That innocent, wide open, in love with the world place. Nice place. All right, Marilyn. So you're in the soul lesson of the shadow right now. Oof. No, it's not the devil. Though in the tarot deck, it has a little bit of that flavor. But in this one, this is about when we have to face, as a soul lesson, we're facing our own fears. Whatever we're most afraid of, we start to attract. If we're afraid of losing our job, we get laid off because it's like we are a magnet for what we send out. So if we're sending out fear, then we get things to be fearful about. So this part of the soul lesson is when that fear energy bubbles up, that worry and that confusion, you just breathe into the divine and say, nope, I'm not going there with you. I'm not going to go into the shadow. I'm not going to think the worst in this scenario. I'm going to allow my team to take over. And you really are in that little bit of a balance. It's when our inner critic is really noisy and saying all sorts of things to us to make us doubt ourselves and that type of thing. And so this can feel like the dark night of the soul in a way, because we're battling all the old negative thoughts that were ever said about us, and we're facing them like they're a bully and saying, no, I'm not going to be fearful. No, I'm not going to be fearful. I'm not going to believe those negative thoughts about myself anymore. And so it's a little bit of a struggle. So you have that coming up right now. And as a soul lesson, it means it's on tap for a little while. But just reconnect with your heart and listen to what's true. And then you'll be heading down the right way. Okay? There's lots of lessons there. Okay, Marie. Oh, I'm glad you like the meditation. Thank you. All right. Your card is the Seven of Hearts. And the Seven of Hearts is, you've got a lot of choices that are up right now. None of the choices are right or wrong. They're just possibilities. So choose from your heart. Use your expanded sense of intuition. Remember that if something makes us feel heavy, it's usually not right for us. If it makes us excited or bubbly or even nervous, then it's generally that thing that we're meant to do. So as you come across these choices, know there's no wrong choice. So don't freak out about that. All of them will lead you forward on your path. Part of this is just choosing and trying to choose from an intuitive place, the place that really gets your juices flowing. Or if it scares you, the things that scare you are usually the big things for your soul to do. At least they are for me. All right. Margaret. 10 of Angels. This one can be tough, sweetie. Whatever situation you're in right now, it is done. Over, kaput, let go, surrender, allow it to end. Because when we allow it to end, new beginnings can come in. You know, if you're trying to, rehash something and hope it could switch, it's done. Complete. It's in the original tarot deck, the guy's laying on the ground, he's got 10 swords in his back. Deader than dead. It's over. But when you're looking at that card, there's a sun rising. So are you focusing on the ending or are you focusing on the new beginning? Let go of the past. Let go of what's done. Don't try to rehash it. Don't try to recreate it. Step into new energy and just allow and ask your spiritual team. That's what surrender is. Okay, guys, help me out because I'm done. All right. Brenda. Of course you can have a card. Your card, my dear, is the Moon. Perfect for this full moon energy that we're in. And the Moon is another one of our soul cards, part of the major arcana. And the Moon in this one is reminding us that in the darkness, there is still light. And we can get caught in the illusion that we're in dark. So the soul can be in a place where it feels like, oh no, I'm in all this darkness and it must be bad. No, it's just that's an illusion. The moon is still there to illuminate the way. And I find that for me, the moon energy is almost brighter than the sun. because it's surrounded by so much darkness that it's like so stark white. It's like this beam of light that shines down. You know, when the full moon is out, how many people out there can't sleep because it gets too light if their window curtains aren't dark, right? You have too much light, you can't sleep because it's so bright. So this is tapping into that divine feminine energy because she's really in control of the moon, and knowing that whatever feels bad, whatever feels dark, that's all an illusion. All you need to do is illuminate yourself, your own light, and shine the way through the darkness, and you will be fine. And this is part of your soul's lesson. Everything can seem chaotic and dark around you. Shine your light, and you are going to be the beam to light the way. All right. Laura. Of course you can still get a card. I'm glad it was life-changing. You are so welcome, sweetie. Ah, what a great card for you. This is the Ace of Hearts. And those aces are gifts from the divine, gifts from God. And so the Ace of Hearts is literally like love on a platter. And it's sending you this really beautiful healing energy for your heart. So it's filling you with unconditional love. It's reminding you that you are a divine spark, that you are a divine child of God, and that because of that, you are love, and you are a magnet for love. And love in the true essence, not in the, Hallmark card kind of way. Does that make sense? So it's really open your heart and see what love can bring toward you. All right. Rochelle. All right. Your card is the Four of Hearts. And the Four of Hearts can be, it says on here, depression. It can be depression, can be grief. But what happens with the Four of Hearts is lots of times we're focused on the past. We're focused on what was and not what is. And when we're focused on what was, we miss out on what's in front of us. And so this is reminding you that if you spend your time looking backwards, you aren't seeing what's in front of you until it's gone by. So this the energy may feel really heavy right now, but it's because your energy is stuck a little bit in the past. And you know how at the beginning of the meditation, we call the energy from our past into the moment? It's because it stretches us, it tilts us. And, we go through times where we're reminiscing, but it's one thing to reminisce about the past. It's another to try to change it or shift it or recreate it. That's when we get stuck, and that actually depresses our energy. It brings our vibration down. And so if you're feeling heavy, that's because you've left some energy in the past. All right? All right, Rowena. Your card is the Six of Angels. And the Six of Angels is indicating that you're going through this period of transition. And transition is one of those things that can be unnerving because things are changing. And when things are changing, we can freak out because we don't know if the change is good or bad. Well, change is always good. We just don't know it in that moment. And anything that's different can feel bad because we haven't experienced it before. So just breathe into the fact that you're in a period of transition. That's all. Nothing to worry about. It just means things are shifting. And just know that things are shifting for the better. They're shifting to create some more magical things for you. We can't have that happen if we're stuck in the same old past. So this is just a time where things are changing. Breathe and be like, okay, I'm just in a transition period, and I'll know when I've settled. It doesn't feel too long term, but it feels a few weeks, okay, which can feel like an eternity when you're in it. All right, Carol. Another soul card, the teacher. I love that there's a teacher in this deck. There is not really a teacher energy to this degree in the original tarot deck. So the teacher this is part of where you are right now. You are in an energy of learning how to be the teacher. We go through phases where we're meant to be learning lessons, and other times when we're meant to be guiding others as the teacher. And when we are asked to be in the teacher role as a soul energy, as a soul lesson, this is when we have to really get clear so that other people can learn from us. When we give garbled information, then they just become confused and they don't actually learn. The gift of the teacher is not only that you impart your wisdom, but that others can learn from it. And they can only learn when we speak with clarity. So this is other people reaching out to you to help guide them, mentor them, teacher them. And as you do that, you want to make sure that you're really being clear. It's not something about the ego, that it's being expressed through your soul. All right, Michelle. Of course you can have a card. Yours is the 6 of Stars. Woohoo! You have success coming up, babe. This is like fireworks and like magical things happening. So, again, you've probably gone through a bunch of stuff that feels like you've been struggling and struggling and struggling. And now, phew, finally you get where you were going. And so take a few moments to relish all of the success and all of the things that you've created positively, because we sometimes focused on all the things that have gone wrong. Time to focus on everything that's gone right in your life, because you really are a success. And that, when success comes in, we get, sort of a bonus from the universe. And sometimes that's, in a financial way. Sometimes it's other people recognizing what we've done and saying something, but this is success. You leave this energy feeling successful, like you accomplished what you were trying to, and phew, now it's done. And so give yourself a few moments to enjoy the success before you're on to the next thing, because you're on to the next thing really quickly. All right. I think, yep. So this is Neshi's card, because, she always gets the last card because she never asks, and I make her receive every single week. So hers is the Queen of Angels. Woohoo! That visionary leader. No surprise. Who's uses her heart to speak her truth and keep her crown and her intuition wide open. Yeah, remember, it's time to start creating the new vision, the expanded vision. They want a bigger vision. Don't get comfortable where you're at. Don't forget, the online school has to be up and running by fall. And with that, you guys, I hope you have a wonderful evening and really allow yourself some space to heal when you need it. Always remember, you can connect with us here on Wednesday nights at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I am here as part of my mission to heal the healers. And with that, you guys, mwah, I hope to see you next week here at 7 or next Tuesday on Chakra Sessions at noon. And I'll see you later. Bye.